say I am absolutely thrilled to make this video. I have been watching these personal curriculum videos here lately, and this is a trend that I can really get on board with because I've been doing this for so long. So today I'm so excited to share my personal curriculum that I'm doing for the fall with you guys. So let's jump right in. I'm Samantha. Welcome back to Pit Pack Adventures. I'm so glad that you chose to stop by today. We are talking all things from my mother teacher, mother culture, personal curriculum that I'm doing for this fall season in my life. And I'm super excited to share that with you guys today. One of the things that was just really heavy on my heart here recently was the fact that I didn't feel like that I was learning as much as I had been in my previous life. Before I became a mother. I actually have a graduate degree in nurse anesthesia, so I was the one who would put you to sleep for all of your surgeries. I would do epidurals for laboring women. I would do spinals for C-sections. I would do nerve blocks for pain management during surgery and afterwards. And so I learned a lot in a short amount of time, and after that period of time was over, I swore I would never open another book, and that just goes to show you never say never. I think for most of us that learning is fun, but you have to figure out exactly what you're passionate about, what your convictions are, what is the thing that is just on your mind constantly that you are just wanting to figure out how to do this, or you're just wanting to learn more about it. Those are the things that we need to learn about. And I'm not talking about learning as far as like the K through 12 standard. That wasn't learning, that was memorizing facts for a test. I'm talking about actually learning to where you grasp the concept and it sticks with you, and each and every one of us has that inside of us. Number one, I wanted to learn. I didn't want to stop. I just have so much out there that I just am interested in. Number two, I wanted to deeply educate myself on certain things that I didn't necessarily have a good grasp on, and therefore teach my children these concepts and further deepen their education on these things. The more that I learn as a mother teacher, the more that I can give to them. And one example of that was our science lesson today. We got off into muscles and bones. And so for us, it was just a very, very basic understanding of the muscles and the bones. But for me, because my background is in the medical field, I can deepen that lesson just with the basic knowledge that I have about muscles and bones. I don't have to get deep into everything that I know, but I can get deeper than that book did. So that is what I'm talking about, educating ourselves so that we can therefore educate our children better. Tony Robbins said it best. He said, if you are not growing, you are dying. And I feel that with a passion in my soul, like if you are still here on this earth, there is a purpose for you, and we should never stop learning and trying to be the best version of ourselves that we can be. And there is always room for improvement. Let's get into the first thing that I have started in my personal curriculum this fall, and it is so weird because I started this back when I was nursing my third child, so our last child. I'd be up at all hours of the night, and I'd be scrolling social media or watching a YouTube video, and honestly that just got old. I don't know if you guys are like me, but sometimes when I scroll social media or watch these just random YouTube videos, sometimes I feel, for lack of a better word, dumber than I did when I started. And I'm not trying to be mean, I'm just trying to be honest. For me, I felt like I'm already up. I want to do something productive with this time. That would have been 3 years ago. I found Hillsdale College. Hillsdale College is a small Christian classical liberal arts college that takes zero funding from the government. What does that tell you? What does that make you think about? Well, that makes me think about the fact that they are not pressured or made to teach a certain narrative about anything in their classes, and that is a breath of fresh air. These people speak the truth. These professors are Christians. They are of the classical education model, and for me, I have been really wanting to learn more about the founding fathers of our country. I want to learn about the Constitution. I want to learn about the Declaration of Independence. Whenever I first had a yearning for this was right before, it is so wild, right before Charlie Kirk was assassinated. I just felt this deep feeling inside of me, this deep yearning, and I was asking myself these questions. I was like, have I even read the complete Declaration of Independence? I mean, I know that we memorized the preamble in social studies at some point in our high school education. Did I truly read the Declaration of Independence all the way through in its entirety? Have I read the Constitution of the United States of America? And one answer was I wasn't sure, and the next answer was absolutely not. I have not read the Constitution the whole way through. I don't even know what is in the Constitution, to be perfectly honest with you, or I did not as of a few weeks ago. So that was really heavy on my heart, and it was a deep yearning that I needed to go further into this study. So I signed up for Constitution 101. Constitution 101 is the meaning and the history of the Constitution. So it's taking the Constitution bit by bit, it's breaking it down. I am already learning so much from this course, and no, it is not the same education that I received in my K through 12 social studies that I received from the public school system. This is completely different, okay? So now I can say that I have actually read the Constitution of the United States and that I am learning about it from a trusted Christian worldview source in Hillsdale College. The next course that I'm doing is called the Genesis Story. Now, this is the one that I started 3 years ago when I had one lesson to complete before I finished the course, before I completed it. But I finished that last lesson, and I said I'm not going to push complete on this because I don't remember much from those previous lessons. I just don't, because, mom brain, and it was late at night, and some of the times I was like dozing off during the lessons. I was so incredibly exhausted, as you nursing mothers can relate to. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to redo that course just because there was so much information, and I'm sitting down and I'm like taking notes. Like, I have a dedicated notebook for these classes, and as soon as I get done with one, I'm going to jump right into the other. But for these two classes, for Constitution 101 and for the Genesis Story, I'm going to be doing these in tandem at the same time. I'm just going to try to finish up both of them. Over 3 million students have utilized Hillsdale College's free online courses. That is an incredible number, and they have 49 free classes, anywhere from Constitution 101 to the Federalist Papers. They have American paintings, they have the Exodus story, they have the Genesis story, they have mathematics, they have understanding capitalism, they have ancient Christianity. And by the way, a question that I have is, when did we stop teaching church history? Like, that's a critical part of our faith as Christians. Like, why do we not teach this? Like, why do churches not teach church history anymore? Because when you talk about Martin Luther, most people think that you're talking about Martin Luther King Jr. Like, truly, and that's sad. It's very sad. Church history, definitely look into that. I'm learning so much about that as well, things that I never knew before, and I'm learning those things alongside my children, which makes it even better. It makes me twice blessed, right? I'm twice blessed. So that's a quote from Miss Karen Andriola and thought from Miss Charlotte Mason on learning alongside your children. Some more that I'm really interested in is they have the story of C.S. Lewis, they have classic children's literature, and they also had the young Jane Austen. I had already signed up for my Constitution 101 class a few days before Charlie Kirk was assassinated, and I'm just being honest, that that one hurt deep. That one hurt pretty deep. Along with Mr. Bodie Bacom, man, I'm just thinking about all the people that have been taken home this year, like John MacArthur, Charlie Kirk, Bodie Bacom, like these huge powerhouses of the Christian faith. And I'm just like, goodness gracious, God, I know you're in charge. I know that you have a plan, and I know your ways are higher than my ways, but what is going on? Like, what? And it's not for me to understand. That's where faith kicks in, right? The neat thing about it is that Larry Arnn, who is the president of Hillsdale College, actually spoke at Charlie Kirk's memorial, and I had no idea. He took every free course that Hillsdale had to offer. And if that tells you nothing else, that should tell you that if he took every course at Hillsdale, that I need to take every course at Hillsdale, and that you may want to deeply think about doing the same thing, because the education, the information, the worldview, it's there. It's there. I would be a little skeptical of going to any other university because I would be very on guard about what I was being taught. Now, of course, I'm rooted enough in my faith at this point to know that if something false is being taught, that's it. Ditch that course for sure. But Hillsdale, you're not going to have to worry about that. And so the fact that Charlie Kirk took every Hillsdale College course, it really spoke to me. And that was kind of like God, allowing me to know that this course that I'm doing, this path that I have chosen for my personal curriculum, is the one that I indeed need to take. So, number one, check out Hillsdale College, free courses, sign up, do the lessons. You will get smarter. Moving on. The next thing that I have been really taking a deep dive into learning is the Charlotte Mason style of homeschooling, or a classical style of homeschooling. I have to admit that I didn't know much about Charlotte Mason or classical homeschooling until probably about a year ago. And in addition to all of the books that I've read that we're going to go through, I recently came across a YouTube channel, and it is The Commonplace with Miss Autumn Kern. And if you do not listen to her and you are a classical homeschooling mama, or if you're just a homeschool mama in general, oh my goodness, she has such amazing ideas, amazing books, amazing resources. When I found her channel, I was like, oh my goodness, I feel like I have found a kindred spirit. Like, it was that intense. It's those things in life that you find that have been there all along, and you found it. It's like finding treasure, okay? Like, I know most YouTubers don't get on here and talk about other people's channels, and I honestly don't care, because this lady's amazing. Like, go check her out. Like, I will link her channel down below, because I'm of the opinion that just because I make somebody else's light shine bright doesn't mean that it dims mine. Like, let's get over that. She's amazing. She has wonderful ideas. Go check her out. I get excited just talking about her, as you can tell. I love books. And she talks about books so much on her channel. And so if you know of any other channels that are comparable to hers, or any channels that just talk about books in general, let me know down in the comments below, because I will definitely be doing my mother culture in watching her, and deep diving, and even taking notes on her channel, because I've already learned so much from her as well. But in addition to The Commonplace, I have also sought out Miss Karen Andriola. She is no stranger to the homeschooling world, and I think it was probably the beginning of the year. The first book that I ever read of hers was Motherculture. It changed my life. I felt like the words on those pages were meant just specifically for me, because there was so much in that I was just like, oh my goodness, that's exactly how I feel. Okay, that was my first book that I read, and then I started the Charlotte Mason Companion. Now, I will have to say, this is a book that I have picked up and put down. This classical way of education, and even the verbiage in it, is something that I'm really having to work at, and sometimes I just get frustrated, and I'm like, okay, I'm done. I can't do this. Sometimes you just need to pick up a book that does doesn't require much of you. Just a fun read, something that is not deep and not something that you just have to sit there and just think about and roll around in your head. I have to be on my A game when I'm reading this. And sometimes I just can't be, because normally when I'm doing all of this personal curriculum, it's when I am up very early before my kids, or if I'm staying up late at night after they've went to bed. There is not much downtime for me during the day. As I shoot this video, we have just finished up with homeschool. The supper is on the stove. We have church tonight, so I'm trying to do this video fast. And my husband is upstairs with my 3 children, relaxing because they're done with their school day. I have to really use my time wisely, and I have to be very intentional with what I'm doing, as I'm sure you are, as a mother teacher, or as a mother just in general. If you don't homeschool, if you're just a mother, a lot is required of us. I do have Home Education by Charlotte Mason, and I will say that's another one that I pick up and put down quite frequently, because that book, oh my goodness, it's hard in my opinion. So yeah, if you have any suggestions on a book that is comparable other than the Charlotte Mason Companion that teaches to a classical education, please let me know. Although I do intend on buying all 6 volumes of her books, and I do intend on reading them. Whew, that's going to be a lot. I will get it done because my mind is focused. I did read For the Children's Sake. I did get that one completed, and a lot of things that I need to put in my commonplace book. I might do a video on that. I love my commonplace book. I started that before I even knew what it was either. I was like, I need a book to write down all of the important quotes and passages from books that really inspire me. And so I started that years ago, and I didn't even know it was a thing. Long in this bookish area, and I didn't even know. Anyway, Michael's Gentle Wife. Now, this is supposed to be a curriculum video, and it is, but this was part of the curriculum, the classical education course that I am putting myself through. This is amazing. If you have not read this, you are deeply missing out. Deeply. It is so much more than a book. It is a love story about a family, and the way that we have fallen so far from this, from family first, from family values. This is based in the 1930s to 40s, and yes, it is wonderful. This was part of my classical education, and I have to say, anything that Miss Karen Andreola puts out, I will be purchasing because I love her writing, and I truly hope that this is not the end of this family story. Currently, I am reading Pocketful of Pine Cones. I love this. This is the first book that Miss Karen wrote before she wrote Michael's Gentle Wife. So it's the Pocketful of Pine Cones, and then it's Lessons at Blackberry Inn. So after I finish this one, I will be starting this one immediately afterward. I usually have multiple books going at one time, so this is just in addition to that classical education that I am trying to learn about. I think it speaks volumes to the fact that we really need to learn what our children require. And I say that because not all kids are going to go to college when they graduate. They're just not. We're very open with our children about if you have a specific field that you want to go in, such as a nurse, a lawyer, a doctor, what have you, of course, you can go to college. But if you have no clear path in college, you're not going, because number one, it's a waste of money. I know so many people who have went to college for a few semesters, and then they've quit, and they've wasted thousands of dollars because they weren't dedicated in the first place. Number two, they have degrees that they're not even using. Hello. Like I said, I have a nurse anesthesia degree. I'm not using it currently. Now, with that being said, I worked a ton of years before I stopped working to come home with my family. So I more than paid for my education. But I will have that when my children are not here anymore in my home. If I did need to go back to work, I could literally go back to work within a week if I needed to. So that's also very good to have in your pocket, in your back pocket. If times get tough and I need to go back to work, I can. But that is not the plan. I lost my train of thought. Okay, if you don't have a clear path to college, you don't need to go. Number one, you're going to be indoctrinated by professors you're going to be indoctrinated. Unless you have a child that has a firm foundation. And let's face it, most people these days have children that do not have firm foundations. That's why this country is in the shape that it's in. Let me get off my soapbox. Number two, you do not need to go and waste thousands upon thousands of dollars if your child wants to get an art degree. Like I'm not dissing art. I'm just saying that you don't need to spend that much money. Like, just educate yourself. Go out there and paint. Go mentor with somebody. Go do I don't know. All kids will not go to college. So we need to think about what they are requiring. If they are not going to college, they do not need calculus. They do not need trigonometry. They do not need all of these courses in high school that are going to relate to nothing that they will be doing in real life. If they want to run their own business, okay, let's do a class on finance, or let's do a class on entrepreneurship. Let's do a class on banking or consumer math. I just think that we need to be very intentional about what our children want to do after they graduate, and we need to teach them according to what their plans are. If they want to go to college, of course we need to do college prerequisites, and we need to do dual enrollment and all of those things. But if they're not, why waste the time and why waste the money, okay? Teach to your child. I did not mean for that to get off on a homeschooling rant. When I get to talking, I just kind of overflow sometimes. That being said, if you have any other suggestions for books or channels or podcasts that I can listen to kind of dive deeper into a classical education, please let me know in the comments down below, and I would greatly appreciate that. And somebody just commented on one of my videos. Thank you for that comment. I will return it shortly. Okay, moving on. Next personal curriculum that I'm going to be diving deep into this fall is Bible. Okay, this is the rock on which my life stands is the Bible, and so I need to learn more about it. There are many books of the Bible that I do not know much about. Even though I have probably read them, it doesn't mean that I actually knew the information that I was reading, okay? Let's just be honest. So, I am currently finishing up this devotion from the Daily Grace Co., and this is Faith Over Fear. This is a great one if you need a devotion. It talks about all types of fears. It talks about fear of the unknown, so stepping out in faith when you're not sure the path that God has for you, you're not sure what's on the other side of it, but you're stepping out in faith anyway. It speaks to the fear of rejection. It just talks about our fear of needing to be liked and how social media has played a huge role in that. Don't get me started. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole right now. It talks about the fear of exposure, about being fearful about our sin that we oftentimes hold in secret, being exposed to the world and what people are going to say, what they're going to think, and how there's such freedom in just repenting of that sin and asking the Lord to come in and make us fresh and new and just leaving that life and that habit behind. I really enjoyed this one. Next one that I'm going to do, I'm on the fence about. I have two different ones coming. I have Romans and I have Hebrews. Those two books are really they're favorites of mine, but I just really want to do a deep dive into those. I've done a deep dive into Colossians. I've done Nehemiah. I have done 1 Peter. I'm trying to think of, I think I did Galatians. I know what you think. Which one do you think I should do next? Do you think I should do Romans or Hebrews? I'm not sure. I've got both of them coming from the Daily Grace Co. I will have the Daily Grace Co. linked below. They have so many great resources that they're amazing. They always have sales going on. They just came out with their new Advent stuff for Christmas, so I'm super excited about that. I actually got a few of those things also for the kids for Christmas. But every resource that I've ever gotten from them, I've loved it, so definitely check them out if you're looking for a devotion or just a deep dive into one of the books of the Bible. Last thing that I want to talk about in my personal curriculum for the fall is fitness. Fitness, okay? I am a runner at heart. I love to run. I was a runner before I had children. Loved doing the half marathon, did a few marathons, loved it. But I have to admit, after having 3 children, it has been really hard to find a routine that I have been able to stick with because there's just a lot of things that require my attention. And anytime I think that I'm back on track with a routine, something happens. Either the kids get sick, I get sick, I miss a couple of days turns into a week. You know what I'm talking about, Mama. I live in an area now where I have a gym literally a couple miles down the road. It's fabulous. I've enjoyed it. So I'm in a season of my life where fitness, regular fitness, can happen now. I just have to make it happen. And another thing is that I have turned 40 this year. I have to say, I have to start lifting weights, that low resistance weight. I have to start doing that because of osteoporosis. I can't even believe I'm saying that. But it's true. After 40, women, our bones start to deteriorate a bit. And so when we lift those weights, it just strengthens our bones and it wards off osteoporosis. So for me, I love that. It makes you feel better. I mean, anytime I go to the gym in the morning and come back home, my day it just starts out right. So if I get up and I read my Bible and I go to the gym and I come back, it doesn't matter what's happening, I can get it done. I can tackle the day with the Lord and I got my run in. Let's go. Just as moms, I think we need that. We need that because we are having so much thrown on us throughout the day, especially if you're a homeschool mom. It never ends. So if we have a bad day that turns into another bad day, that turns into another bad day, it can be very draining and it can be very depressing. So we have to equip ourselves to be able to withstand the arrows of the devil when he is coming at us and getting up and reading our Bible, getting into the Word, getting into our prayer time with the Lord, and then getting a workout in. It's like we're invincible. Or I feel that way. I'm getting closer to the camera. Let me back up a bit. Okay. Next thing that I really want to start doing better on and learning more, and it's just a learning process. It is what it is YouTube, is this platform. This is a platform that I am drawn to. I absolutely love it. I never thought that I would be a content creator. I don't know. I don't create content. I just get on here and talk to you guys. I don't have a script. I have thoughts. I have thoughts that I write down throughout the week that I want to try to relate to you guys, but that's about it. I don't have a big production team. I edit my own videos, and I don't want to say always, but I plan to continue to do that. I just love it. And you know, that's another thing about school. I was always told that I was not a creative person, that I was a more analytical person, that I was more of a right-sided brain person. So I just kind of, you know, when the left side started kicking in, I was like, oh, I'm not that. You know, I'm more of a facts person or a realist. No. I think we all have those tendencies for right and left, but we all are equipped with right and left. So that's another thing. That was a lie that I believed. Anyway, so I love creating content. I love doing this, and so of course I want to try to do this better. I want to be the best version of myself that I can be on YouTube. I want to learn how to edit better. I want to learn how to do videos better. I want to learn how to talk better. I want to know how to get my point across without going down 10 different rabbit trails, because that's what I typically tend to do. I have the common channels that most people watch, like Think Media, vidIQ, and I don't do this all the time. Like, I don't waste an exorbitant amount of time on these people, because at the end of the day, my thought process is that God is going to do what he wants to with this channel. So me trying all these different hacks and tips and tricks to put these videos out further to people, that can only go so far, and then there's God. I've learned that in the past probably 6 months or so, and I put it out there, and there it is. You like it or you don't like it. I don't know. That's just the way I feel about it. I want to get better for myself, and I want to get better for you guys. The OGs, the 480 subscribers that I have. So, and I do want to just tell you guys that every time I check and I have a new subscriber, I want to tell you that I do thank the Lord for each of you. Like, I truly do. I know that we do social media on several different, sites. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook. But for me, I've been feeling a big push towards YouTube. So you're going to see me very active on YouTube more than I have been, just because I like it. I love it. And this is, it brings happiness to my life, and it brings happiness trying to show people a different way to live with their family, a different way to educate their children, and just, it's just good. So let me know down in the comments below if you know of any channels that would help with this, like editing videos or just whatever. Like I said, I don't watch them very often, but when I do allow that time, I want it to be significant. I want it to be something that I can actually use to improve, and not just somebody talking, because most of these people, they're just talking. They're not giving you any real things to improve your channel. They're just talking and wasting your time. Okay guys, we're wrapping it up. I don't know how long this video is, but you know what? That's okay, because it's as long as it needs to be. And if you are new here, you may not know what I'm about to do. I started this in my last video because I just felt like this was something that I wanted to do. At the end of every video, I'm going to start sharing a scripture that God has placed on my heart, or something that has just resonated with me this past week. And so I spoke about the devotion that I've been doing, Faith Over Fear. Love that devotion. And one of the verses that stuck out to me this past week as I was doing my Bible time is this one. And it is Proverbs chapter 1, verse 7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Fools despise wisdom and instruction. Okay, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. I think that speaks volumes to our world. I was going to say country or nation, but actually world. It speaks volumes to our world, because it is true. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of understanding. If you don't know this, you're not going to know anything else about the world. You're not, because He is the creator. He is the founder. If we don't know this, nothing else in our world is going to make any sense. Fools despise wisdom and instruction. Now, this makes me think about some people. It does, because I'm not gonna get on that. I'm just gonna be nice. I'm gonna be nice today. Know the people that I'm talking about. Somebody that you can debate with all day long. You can, give out these logical explanations, facts, figures. You're not going to change their mind. You're not going to create any kind of steps in their life to move them forward. You're not going to do it. They are planted firmly where they're at, and just let them be planted there. You're wasting your time. Don't be a fool. I guess that's the takeaway from this. Don't be a fool. If you need to be corrected by somebody biblically, allow them to correct you. But if you've got people coming at you just because they're mad at you or jealous or don't like you, well, don't give them the time of day. Just move on. Make sure you're grounded in the Lord and keep going down His path. Let me just read. These are my thoughts. These are my thoughts that I wrote down for you guys. I said, so don't be a fool. Fear the Lord. Follow Jesus. Read your Bible. Cultivate your home. Disciple your children, love your spouse, love other people, speak truth and life, be firm in your convictions, okay? This is the truth. All other ground is sinking sand. Is that how it goes? What's that song called? All other ground is sinking sand. Place your life on the rock, on the Bible, on Jesus. So I will be updating my plans and my personal curriculum as I go along. I will be telling you guys what I have completed, and I'm very excited to continue on this journey. If you have pieced together a personal curriculum of your own as a mother teacher for your mother culture, please let me know down in the comments below. I would love to know what you are doing, and also please let me know. I have had this deep urge to learn Latin. Yes, I know. I do not know Latin, but I have very well in my classical education curriculum. I've come to find that Latin is used everywhere. I just never noticed it. So I am wanting to kind of dive slowly into the shallow pond of Latin, and I don't know a thing. I don't know where to even start. So if you have a curriculum or a course that you would highly recommend for that, please let me know, because I don't know even where to start with that. I would greatly appreciate it. Let me know if you have listened to anyone on YouTube or read a book or listened to a podcast lately that has really just impacted you and spoken to you. Let me know that down below, because I would love to listen and read myself. And also remember, if the Lord has led you to it, He will equip you through it. I love that. I love that. I feel like that is my mantra. And so that speaks also to our personal curriculums. If the Lord has led you to it, He will equip you through it. Do this in the early mornings before your kids wake up. Do this late at night after they go to bed. These are the times when I do them. This is what works. This is how I function. If you can carve out time during your day to do any of these things, do it. Because as mamas, we need to feel rejuvenated. We need to feel refreshed. We need to feel like that we have some sort of life outside of our homeschools and outside of our family that is just for us. And this is something that will pour into our spirits, into our mothering, into our homeschools. And this is going to make us stronger for our own families. But we have to do it. We have to make that decision and have the dedication to pursue knowledge, to pursue truth, to pursue goodness. And so with that being said, I thank you so much. Remember that God is walking through these seasons with you, and thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.